They say you gain wisdom as you grow older, but they rarely tell you how heavy that wisdom can be. After 70 years, you don't just remember, you relive. Moments come back in flashes, some joyful, some sharp enough to make you catch your breath. Memories aren't stories, they are echoes that return at the quietest hours. And each lesson I carry now is not written in ink, but in silence, in reflection, and yes, sometimes in pain. This isn't regret, this is remembrance. This is what it means to grow old with your eyes still open. They said time heals all wounds, but they were wrong. Time doesn't heal, it teaches slowly, relentlessly. It teaches you that pain doesn't always leave, it simply changes shape. You stop waiting to be over something, and instead, learn how to carry it more gently. You realize that certain losses aren't supposed to disappear. They live in you, folded into your soul. The people who left don't truly go. They linger in the way you speak, the way you pause, the way your voice cracks sometimes for no reason. Time shows you the weight of silence. It shows you that being strong is not about forgetting. It's about remembering without being shattered. It's about walking with ghosts and still choosing to sing. And with each passing year, you don't become lighter, you become fuller. Not burdened, seasoned, not broken, weathered. You don't heal, you evolve. And that, perhaps, is the truest lesson time ever gives. Letting go isn't something you master, it's something you practice again and again. When I was younger, I thought letting go meant forgetting, moving on, wiping the slate clean. But now I know, it means making peace with what stays. Letting go is not a grand decision. It's the quiet act of unclenching your heart every morning. It's allowing things to have happened the way they did without needing to rewrite the ending. It's whispering thank you to moments that broke you because they also shaped you. Some days, I let go easily. Other days, I hold on too long and remember why it hurts. But slowly, the grip loosens. And in the space that letting go leaves behind, something softer, something kinder begins to grow. There was a time when silence terrified me. I would fill it with noise, conversations, music, movement, anything to avoid the stillness. But now, silence feels like an old friend. It holds things words cannot. It's where I meet myself when the world stops speaking. In silence, I remember what truly matters. I hear thoughts that got buried under decades of distraction. And most surprisingly, in silence, I hear God or the universe, or simply the truth. It turns out silence isn't empty. It's full of presence, of echoes, of meaning. And once you stop fearing it, you start needing it. In my youth, love was loud. It came with fire and storms. It needed proving. It demanded attention. But as I aged, I learned that real love softens. It doesn't need to shout, it simply stays. Real love is in the ordinary, the shared tea, the remembered story, the patient listening. It's the hand you still reach for, even after all these years. It's showing up, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. It's the silence you share that says, I know you, even without words. Love isn't always grand. Sometimes it's just consistent. And in consistency, I've found a kind of beauty no poem ever captured, the kind that makes you feel safe and seen. There's a moment, somewhere after 70, where your body starts to whisper things you didn't want to hear. Joints ache, muscles tighten, energy dips. At first, you feel betrayed. But then, you understand. Your body isn't giving up. It's giving signals. For decades, it carried you. No questions asked. Now, it asked for partnership. To move more slowly, to rest with intention, to be cared for with gentleness. Your body isn't failing, it's evolving. It's no longer built for speed, it's built for presence. And every wrinkle, every ache, every scar is not proof of weakness, but evidence of endurance. This isn't decline, it's a new language. One worth listening to. When I was younger, I wanted moments to be perfect. The dinners, the holidays, the way I was remembered. But now, I want them real, unfiltered, unedited, fully alive. I've found more joy in spilled coffee and unplanned laughter than in polished, planned moments. Because presence is louder than perfection. You won't remember how clean the house was. You'll remember who sat with you when you were tired. You'll remember the feeling of being truly seen. So I've stopped trying to curate a life, and I've started living one fully, messily, honestly, and it has never felt more beautiful. At 70, people stop looking to you for trends. They look to you for truth. You become the mirror, the quiet witness to all they're rushing through. You reflect back what matters: kindness, stillness, meaning, and whether you realize it or not, someone is learning from your pauses, your peace, your presence. Your wisdom isn't in the words you say. It's in the life you've lived. And when others look at you now, they don't just see age, they see a map of survival, of grace, of staying soft in a world that asks you to harden. And that is a gift. They told me youth was everything. But I've come to believe the later chapters of life can be the richest. Not because they're easy, but because they're honest. You stop needing to prove. You start learning to just be. You become aware of the preciousness of time. You stop running and start noticing. A slow walk becomes sacred. A morning breeze feels like prayer. You begin to live from the inside out, finally. These years, though, they may be quieter, but they echo longer. They are not the end of your story. They are the revelation of it. And if you listen closely, you'll hear something beautiful. Not the ticking clock, but your soul, finally, at peace.